Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on the Generation 1 Power Master Getaway. So yeah, this guy's another Power Master. And I've already reviewed another Autobot Power Master, Slapdash. So now the only Autobot Power Masters I need are Optimus Prime / Jinrai and Joyride. As for the Decepticons, I still need, what are their names? Dreadwind and Darkwing. And I guess if you count him, Overlord. Although, come on, Overlord's really expensive. Well, let's just start the review. So, Getaway here is a white car, although in this case it's more beige because, well, this copy has yellowed because, as you can see, this little bit pushes down for the Power Master engine to go in, and it's much whiter than the actual car bit around it. So, yeah, it has yellowed. So we can add this to my list of Transformers figures that have yellowed. Look, I got this for cheap, okay? Another side effect of getting this for cheap is I don't have the gun or the actual engine section. So, unfortunately, unlike with Slapdash, I cannot show the robot modes. Psych! Thankfully, if you don't have the Power Master engine, you can still press down the button to transform him. So if you are messing up the Power Master engine, you can still transform him. So that's good. So let's have a look. So before I go off on a tangent, let's have a look at the car. Well, here we can see that the windshield's it's like a velvet kind of color. It's like a, I don't want to say red, but it's like a red purpley kind of color. And it says racing on the top of it. The sticker's kind of broken. The side bit here, we got a little racing stripe here with the Ultimate insignia. Here you got the back here of a petrol cap, because it's not there on the other side. Here we have the spoiler, which is blue. We've got these little grey sections, which will form the feet in robot modes. Turn the figure around, but you have the same details on the other side. Got the front bit of the car where the engine would go in. This bit pretty much just goes down to accommodate for the engine. This does nothing. It's this button here that makes this bit go down for the transformation. Here we got this sticker here that's not there on this side. We got this hole here on the top which the gun would go into if I had it. And the underneath, which doesn't have any robot junk underneath, that's really good. So this is already doing better in vehicle mode than most modern Transformers do. So I've got to give props to Getaway for that. So for the transformation, if I can just raise my camera a little bit, or we'll tilt it back on the stand. So as you saw, normally I'm supposed to put the engine in to make the little front bit of the car go down, but what I like to do first is take the back bit of the car and do what you do with most Micromaster Transformers and flip the back bit out. Then come in here, hurt your thumb trying to flip the feet out because these could be a little bit tight and they're on ratchets, so your thumb can hit these little sharp bits, and that can actually really hurt. But that's it for the legs. Now you can come in here and move the little hood bit down. Take these little bits and move them up. There we go. Take this section, rotate it around 180 degrees, and spin the waist around. Take the arms and move them down. There we go. And with the head, it's on a spring, so if you just come in here. So here we have Getaway in his robot modes. And yeah, this is pretty cool looking. I mean, that is definitely a unique transformation for a car transformer. Because most of them either have the front of the car as the chest, or the top of the car is the chest. Normally, the top of the car doesn't spin around, so that's pretty cool. So, Getaway definitely has a unique transformation. That's one thing most of the Power Masters... Well, that's one thing I like about the Power Masters. Most of them have unique transformations. I mean, if you remember my review on Slapdash, his transformation was really unique. This guy has a unique transformation. Joyride's transformation is sort of unique. Well, I mean, with Optimus, it's a little bit unique because it's the first Transformer to have like a faux bit. Like faux as in F-A-U-X, as in a bit of the vehicle mode that's not actually the vehicle modes. Because with Power Master Prime, it has the standard like truck like tummy bit, but it's not the actual front of the truck, because the actual front of the truck is on the robot back. So that's pretty unique. And with Darkwing, he transforms in a way where the robot mode's on the sides. So this would be like the robot mode, and this would be the jet. So like pretty much it transforms sort of like this. I know I'm sounding confusing, but he does transform in a similar... Darkwing does transform in a similar way to that, so... The Power Masters do have really unique transformations, and that's one thing I really like about them. So yeah... having a 360... If you had the Power Master engine, which I forgot to say, the Power Master engine's name is Rev, then you can either have it displayed still attached to the figure, or you could have it displayed as a separate robot. It doesn't matter. Because if you have them displayed as the engine, it doesn't really show because it's on the back. Now, having a look at Getaway's head, we can see that he's one of those Transformers characters who's obeying the law and wearing a faceplate. So he's managing to obey the law and trying to wear a mask. So yeah. Although one nitpick I have is it looks like he's got a really long neck if you look at his head from certain angles, just due to the way his head transforms. So yeah. Now for this figure's articulation, I mean the head doesn't really do anything of it can sort of go up and down if you want to. He does technically have an elbow, and I guess if you want to, he actually can T-pose, which is pretty good, and his wrists can go in. He does have a bit of waist rotation, and I guess he does have a bit of knee articulation of the conjoined. And if you want to, he does have a bit of foot articulation, so not really that poseable, but come on, G1 figures are really ever that poseable, so what are you gonna do? So that pretty much does it for the figure. But for the character, well, Getaway can be a bit controversial as a character. Because, well, this guy was in the IDW comics. I believe it was the More Than Meets the Eye comics, where I think he wasn't a Decepticon, but he was still a sort of villain. Well, he was at least an asshole. But I'm just going by what I remember, so the IDW version of Getaway is a bit loathed. But yeah. But thankfully, this figure was released at a time when Getaway was more heroic. So this figure has nothing to do with the IDW character. So, I mean, do I recommend him? I mean, for my only complaints are, aside from the neck looking a bit ridiculous and the transformation being a bit painful at times if you're not careful, I'd say if you're a G1 fan or if you're a Power Master fan, of course. I mean, this guy's really fun. And he's definitely cool looking with the other Power Masters on your shelf. I mean, the only other Power Masters I have are Slapdash and Double Dealer. And he definitely looks cool next to them, so yeah. If you're a fan of the Power Masters, I do recommend this guy. But if you hate how this guy is I can't even speak. If you hate how this guy's depicted in the IDW comics, then I don't know. But well, this has been my review on G1 Getaway, and this is Charlie Young signing off.